down the middle of a very big room, where I would regale Stephen with perfectly sound arguments on any of the things that he would want to say, and across from the other side of the room would come shoes.
Over the top of the wardrobe.
I think the thing that impresses me much more than I could ever do is that's later. That's mea culpa, mea culpa, mea maxima culpa. Surprise moment for my dear brother. But and one of the things that Stephen and Jennifer have been particularly good at keeping hold of over their entire lives is friends. And we have friends dating right back through all the stages of Stephen's life, and Jennifer being the amazing social secretary.
Yes.
Has had a key part to play in all this. So I think before we charge our glasses, Marie has written a poem because
No, the poem. I'm speaking.
Marie is speaking. We have poems. We have poems. As everybody will know, Stephen is a poet laureate of the Street household, and when he. And yes. So I'm going to stop winging it so that people aren't whispering in my ear saying, I'm going to say that. No. Marie is going to say a few words. Good work.
Okay. So the truth is, you'd walk into their bedroom and Stephen would have Bernard pinned on the floor, and Bernard would be running rings around him in terms of argument because he was 2 years older, and they would just fight like outrageous. And I was most of the time happily, ensconced in my own company with my friends. So occasionally, Stephen would become a little more energetic than usual and throw a dart into my arm or something like that. He was a very energetic young man, but he always had extra charm and vitality and energy, and I think everyone was attracted to him in that way. But the truth is, we come from a family of poets and writers, and his first publication was Captain Hook. Captain Hook.
Captain Hook, yeah.
Yes, The Boy Stood on the Burning Deck, and it was published in The Age. Yes.
Can we hear the rest of it?
When Wendy and Peter Pan went to the ship to see a man. The man was fierce Captain Hook, a nasty pirate from a storybook. The battle on the deck was
Fierce and
strong.
long. Fierce and long.
Yes.
Hook was brave, but Peter was strong.
And what happened in the end?
Peter walks the plank. Peter makes him jump. And he lands on the water with a splash and a thump.
And that was Stephen's first published work in the Melbourne Age.
Age 9.
Now, soon after, when he became, 18, 19, 20, occasionally he'd go up to Mary Immaculate, and there was this beautiful blonde there, and I said, oh, she's really lovely. And that was Jennifer, and,
She's not blonde, though.
He said,
She's not blonde, sis.
hey sis, what do you think? I said, oh, she's just gorgeous, why not? So then they had a lovely wedding, and some of the bridesmaids are probably here from that. And yes, so this is Megan's book, by the way, Megan Street. I wrote some notes in the back, so she's just had that published. So. But well done, Stephen. You've been a wonderful brother. You're utterly charming, and it's happy 60th birthday to you.
Good on you, sister.
Well, I think with that we might charge our glasses. We'll have a charge.
In our family, Brian Loughnane. Brian, come forward. And Brian has composed a poem about Stephen. Come on, Brian.
What do you want me to say?
You have to say your poem that you composed. Stand over your chest. He's got it on his phone. Okay. If he's a modern man, he's got it on his phone. Yes.
All right, behave yourself.
No reporting. This is something I wrote for Steve when Ed was living there. And Ed had a few stories.
Oh, we'd like to hear those.
And there was a bit of competition with the cooking. What do you call him, Ed?
The Naked Chef.
The Naked Chef. And what was Steve? What was he doing while he was working there? Cutting trees.
Cutting trees,
Trees,
yeah.
A bit of an incident happened, but there's a little bit to the story, so I'll read it out.
Oh, that sounded good.
Steve was preparing the dinner after removing his clothes. He loved to move freely in the kitchen from his head down to his toes. After buying a new special pan, he set to work on his signature dish. But the twinkle in Jen's eye, I think another room in the house was a wish. Steve said, "Jen, where have you been? Your timing's very poor. Ed's out tonight to cut some trees and he's going to be here at 4. Jen said, "No, he's still concussed from the bark that fell on his head." He was talking rather quickly, but I think that's what he said. Steve sprung to attention. Jen said, "You're too bloody late. I've just heard the car that he's driving and the close of our front wooden gate." Ed walks in oblivious to a moment that had come and gone. Grabbed a tea towel to help in the kitchen to expose a hook draped upon. Embarrassment filled the kitchen that night in Faddison Lane, and Steve could only wish he was somewhere else on a plane. Now, Ed loves a tipple, if it wasn't already known, and when his version of the story came out, we were sure it had bloody grown. He had Steve jumping from the bench top in nothing but a thong. Jen was tied upside down, the look was really wrong. Nana blew a whistle. Gemma ran into the door. Steve dived into the fish pond. This had never been done before. The pond was only 2 foot deep. They were both now upside down. This surprising, exciting visit left her with a frown. "Steve," she said with a stick in her hand, "you're a disappointing young man. The shenanigans I've seen here today, please explain yourself, young man."
It's very revealing.
We have another poem.
Jennifer! Mine's not as long as Brian.
See you later.
No, I've only known Stephen for how many years? 30 years? 30 odd years. Right, so this only starts from there.
Fair enough.
Even Stephen. What can I say? I've known him now for many a day, and over the years he's given me no tears. I met him first at Box Grove, and I thought, what a treasure trove. Tall, dark and handsome for sure, and definitely not a bore. And I thought that he would be a wonderful husband for our Jenny. But nothing was definite at that stage. Jenny had just become of age. But things progressed slowly but surely, and we began to like him morely. The wedding date was set at last, a very hot weekend in March. Jen said the honeymoon went too quick, and one of their homes was in Brunswick. Yes. Then to Montmorency they went, and many a years there they spent. Their 4 boys grew, but no one left home. So Steve and Jen, they moved to Bendigo. They still live there in their mud brick house, And there I've seen scorpions inside, but never a mouse. And Mulder lived with them until his old age. But now I must finish before another page. Happy birthday, Stephen Street. And I'm so glad that we did it.
Now, some of Stephen's colleagues from Becker were also going to say something.
Poetry, though, I It's going to be very flat, sorry, after that last little thing. I hope somebody has a bit more poetry at the end to lift it up again. But I was actually out at CUB's Abbotsford Brewery the other week. And we're going through a building, look at it, and inside there's this beautiful pressure vessel. So Stephen and I have been worked together for about 35 years ago, about the time you were getting together, I think, yes. And one of Stephen's specialities in engineering is pressure vessel design. So you can see probably a glint in his eye because he'll want to come and talk to me now about this. But there's a magnificent, beautiful thing. It's a perfect piece of stainless steel sitting there still, 35 years, engineering works and lasts forever. Stephen does a lot of great engineering. It's been a privilege to work with Stephen over the years, and since it was a pity that he left Becker and moved on to greater things. But he's done very, very well for himself up in Bendigo. We still work with him occasionally, come across little jobs, and we still talk to each other occasionally to consult about things. So I appreciate Stephen as an engineer and as a friend. We also have had some great holidays together. So thank you, Stephen. May you enjoy your next years.
Is there anybody else before you? We might have a toast anyway, because everybody's got their drinks, and before Stephen says anything in response to the toast, let us charge our glasses, and I propose a toast to a magnificent man, husband, friend, father, and engineer. And brother. To Stephen.
Thank you.
Over to you.
All right. As I look around the group, there's friends who go back a long way. If we just go through in giving compliments to each of the group, because I think as a person you become molded by your friends and your family. So if I talk about my first group, my immediate family, my siblings and a sister, our family was always very, very close family. We had many, many years of enjoyable holidays at Dalesford and Adelaide, New South Wales, Queensland. Dad bought a caravan. We were very much a family that travelled and holidayed together. So there was, it was a very enjoyable time. And as Marie said, I had a bit, and Bernard said, I had a little bit of excess energy in those early days, and very much a pleasure, and that friendship that we've enjoyed as a family has extended and endured as we've become married and got partners and children and nieces and nephews. So that's very, very enjoyable. Secondly, my work colleagues. I think Mark probably predates even Jennifer. You know, we started working in 1981. We started working together, and Mark is an excellent teacher and valuable colleague and good friend. And as he said, we've shared holidays together, and I think, you know, through holidays and games, you get to know people outside the work environment. We've been going to theatre groups since probably mid-80s, and Mark and Vicky and John and Sandra have been valuable colleagues and friends for Jennifer and myself. The next one that came along was, let's say let's say Jennifer, because she predated the Loughnane extended Loughnane family, but it was funny. A very, very first.
He wondered what he struck when he met them.
No, that's not quite true. But, I do remember the very
challenge.
first. Jennifer was hosting a party at her flat in
Thank you,
Lower
Wendy.
Hollywood Road, and in commemoration of that evening, she's wearing the same hat.
Against them.
Same hat she did during that. So I was smitten, and I knew Jennifer would provide a wonderful a series of
boys.
experiences in she's very she's very much what you see.
What you say is what you get.
What you see is what you get. And
Wild.
I fell in love with her spontaneity and her smile and her generosity of spirit. And she's been a wonderful partner and mother to our children. She, in one of our first few dates, she took me up eventually to see her family at Boxgrove, was it? Laurel Grove, one of those. Boxgrove, yep. And so I had my first meeting with the extended Loughnane family, and they matched my level of energy. Never stop, basically. And Brian, who read that lovely poem to me. He said, I remember when I started the business, he encouraged me to start my business in Bendigo, and he said to me, if you're not working over 50 hours a week, you're not serious. And that's held me in good stead. I'm not sure I follow that dictum, but I do remember him telling me that. And so the family is very, very hardworking, very generous, and a lovely family to have married into. So, Joan, you're a credit to the extended Loughnane family, and provide lovely generosity, and we've shared lots of wonderful holidays with you as well.
Thank you, Susan.
When we were in Mary Immaculate, which is our youth group, wonderful people, Gay and Christine, I met at the same time, and they've stayed friends for all this period of time, and it's been an exciting and wonderful time to have you in our lives, and it's been fantastic.
Will get more exciting.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Jennifer.
And if I just talk about extended family, as we start out with the small groups, and then you've got the grandchildren and the nieces and the nephews come along, and it's been an exciting time to be part of the Street family and the Loughnane family, to see the lovely new little generation coming through, and as I look around, they're fantastic. Paul, as I see you there, right now, Jennifer hates football, so I want to talk Collingwood. Paul and I, board games, Collingwood, anything to do with sport. Paul has been a valuable ally to allow emails to flutter backwards and forwards as we work out what's gone wrong with Collingwood and how to fix it. What's gone wrong with Collingwood and how to fix it. What's gone wrong with Collingwood and how to fix it. So, but that's been fantastic. Next group is my children, and I've got Dan sitting over there. Two kids overseas, Isaac and Jeremy. Isaac in Sweden and Jeremy in London. But Daniel, been a credit to have you as a son. Been a fantastic son. And Edwin, filmmaker extraordinaire. And yeah, it's been. I regard you guys as best friends, not just sons. So it's been fantastic to have you on board, and hoping for good times, many good times here. When we settled in Montmorency, we basically didn't know anyone in Monty, and Monty through the church, through the school, has provided us a fantastic avenue to have great lifelong friendships. Walters, Alan and Kathleen, we shared our role in Antioch for 10 years together, running the local youth group, and you guys are inspirational and very valuable friends. Marg and Pat Fitzgerald, wherever you are, right here. Yeah. Fantastic friends, and one of our first groups of friends in Monty, and nearly 35 years later, we're still really solid with the Monty group. Carmel and Peter Mithod, yeah, fantastic. And the Maguires, John and Catherine, yeah. So Catherine's gone home. Catherine's gone home, yeah.
No, she hasn't.
Oh, she.
John never changes.
So you'll be going
home. Those couples have provided us a lot of merriment, I would say merriment, and support through sort of some tough things that the family have gone through.
And our neighbours.
Yeah, I'm going to get to those. So we've also got our teams group. So Heather and Dom, who are now Monty people.
Yeah! Seeing the light! Seeing the light!
Nadia and Dennis. Yeah, Nadia and Dennis. And also the Farrell Sue and Sue and Paddy, who my parents were best mates with Paddy's parents back in Ivanhoe in the early days. So that friendship is generational, intergenerational. It's gone probably the best part of 50 years with solid with the Farrells. Louis and Carol, where are you? Over there. Jennifer's very good friends from very early social security days.
But they're also part of another group.
Got him.
The godparents group.
The godparents. Okay. So we have Connie and Egon.
Yeah.
The godparents group. Very good friends over since the early days of knocking dunnies down and things like that.
Knocking dunnies down.
Yeah.
That sounds really Aussie.
Well, I met Egon through Becca originally. Egon came contracted with Becca, and then we worked together at Conor Wagner. So their friendship, we've had great holidays together. And Egon said, let's go camping when we were working together at Conor Wagner. He said, let's go camping, and
Great idea.
I said, I'll go camping. Simone was 6 months old, and
No, she's only 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
6 weeks, oh my God.
Yeah. And I said, I'll go camping on one condition.
That's heroism. That's right.
I'll go camping on one condition, that you take a tow rope. And we needed that tow rope coming up the Maroondah Highway on the Friday night going out of Melbourne. So I knew the limits of the Volvo.
Oh, remember the Volvo.
Yes.
Remember
Yes.
Godparents as in Jeremy's.
Jeremy's, as in
Bernie and Chris.
yeah. I knew that.
Yeah, but he's already covered. He's a brother.
All right, Bernie and Chris. Yeah.
Christine.
Christine, I know Christine. She's sitting here.
They wear several hats. Carol and Louis.
Carol and Lorraine. Right. Now, have I
Bendigonians.
Bendigonians. Yes. Thanks, Tim. We've been flyers by night in Bendigo, working in Bendigo. Kids went to school in Bendigo, but we come back to Melbourne quite often. But we have had the opportunity to become friends with Karen and Steve McDougall, and it's been a wonderful friendship so far, and it's been fantastic. And now, if I left anybody out, say, Bryce, our fifth son, Bryce King, who is
Who did the Queen 2 weeks ago?
Yes,
I saw that online.
Yep. So the Kings.
He spoke nicely of Jeremy.
Andrea, our Sackville Street neighbour, fantastic, and I think I've got everybody. Malcolm and Carl, friends Vine and Nankervises, but excited. No, absolutely not.
They're our sort of
Absolutely. So you all collectively provide a very special place.
And my friend Pretty over there.
I'm Marie. Sorry, Pretty. The one and only. All right, again, friend of Jennifer's, Monty friend, lifetime friend. So
we've got the cake.
Hey! Thank you.
I think now every opportunity to charge the glasses is really important. I think we need to charge up the glasses and have a toast to Stephen, Jennifer, family and friends.
Okay, the cake. Jennifer baked it herself. I made it myself, yes. She's a good story. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephen. Happy birthday to you.
One more thing. And one more, and one more.
Beautiful wrapping. That's my sort of wrapping.
60th birthdays are a time for, amongst other things, a little bit of reconciliation. Now, Stephen, when he was a child, was mechanical. It was the engineering gene that he got from his father, and he loved trucks, and he loved Tonka toys, and he loved corgi cars. Now, funnily enough, he was in town with his grandmother and his auntie, who in the Myer toy department, and they had competitions during the school holidays. So he filled out the form. It was for some corgi cars. He filled out the form, and his auntie said to him, "Why don't you fill out a form for your lovely brother?" So he did. And then what happened is that they drew out my name, and as you might expect, I was very possessive. I corgi cars. Now I think we've got another draw happening right here from the lady from Myers, and the winner is Stephen Sweet. And here are the corgi cars.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Dessert is served.
Fantastic.
Stephen, hold it up.
Flip it round.
That's okay. Thank you. That's okay. Oh, that was just it's been great. Enjoy everything.
By trail in Vancouver.
That was a long journey.